I can't do it.
Why not? There isn't anything you can't accomplish. You've got the brains, you've got the interest, you've got your life ahead of you, you've got the future. And now here's my last question. Why not now?
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
What's the one thing that you couldn't stop thinking about? If you can't stop thinking about it when you go to bed tonight, and you can't stop telling your friends about it in the morning, that is the thing that you need to work on.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
The most difficult thing I've ever done was to believe that I can do it.
If they can, you can too, right? Everyone has the same 24 hours. It's about how you allocate them. The nice thing is that if you're doing a lot of stuff right now and you're not getting to where you want to go, you're doing the wrong stuff. And so the first thing when you course correct is actually elimination, not addition. Because most of the stuff you're doing right now is not working. So then change what you do, and you'll have way more time.
At the end of the day, I ask myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. That is real quitting.
Find a way to win.
Fast forward where you are, look at yourself in 10, 15, 20 years' time, and ask yourself the question, is that where I want to be? If you're in a company, look at the person who's 20 years ahead of you and ask yourself, is that where I want to be? If you're in a startup, look at where other startups have got to in similar roles and go, is that where I want to be? And if the answer is no, then you need to find a new path.
Why don't I set something really big, really far, so I can be in pursuit for the longest period of time possible? And that's where I think a lot of people from the outside, they cast their expectations of life onto me and say, I wouldn't live my life that way. You're always working, you're always doing these things. But it's like, I'm actually always spending my time in pursuit, because in pursuit is my button for enjoyment.
Where were you 6 months ago? Or 6 months ago, where did you think that you would be now? And is that lining up? And if not, why?
So either you can sit here and not and think about that for a whole year until you come back here and do this, or you can go out there for yourself and take some kind of pride in knowing that you could and you did.
You never know until you try.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life, rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't.
Why aren't you trying to do everything? The question shouldn't be, why is he doing everything? It should be, why aren't you? Why not?
This fear of failure is the number one reason why people underachieve and fail in life. It's because the fear of failure holds them back from ever trying. They don't understand this critical point. If you can understand this point, it can turn your whole attitude around. Is that it's impossible to succeed without failing. That failure is an indispensable part of success.
In order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. And it's going to be a challenge, and get ready because you're going to fail your way to success. You're going to get slapped around by life. And don't spend time complaining about it and telling everybody 80% don't care and 20% glad it's you.
You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of what other people will think of you if you fail. But if you're afraid of that, imagine what they think of you when you aren't even trying. Oh yeah, they aren't.
You haven't locked in yet, but you have this belief that you know you can do it, and that's what you're going to do. And in the beginning, that might sound a little delusional, right? I mean, there's guys where they're, dude, I'm locking in this year. 2026, that's my year. But how many times do you hear somebody say that and you believe them 100%? Not often. Not often, if ever, because there's no action to back up that statement. It's simply a wish at that point. You're putting out in the world, I want to make this happen. Where's the action?
Don't doubt yourself. If I've got the ability to change, so do you. I'm asking you, don't sell yourself short.
I was like, man, what story would it be if my fat, lying to be friends with people, insecure ass can overcome this? That dreamer mentality just would always fuel me. And how would that feel?
My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant, And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job, and our family had to do whatever we could to survive. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself. And that's what you need to really research is, man, why am I not doing this for myself? Because that is the number one purpose in life, is to better oneself.
You have some sort of stake motivating you to actually do it. If you kill it, or if you fall short, both of those can be looked at as positive scenarios. If you kill it, you just prove to yourself that you can do it. And now you've raised your internal bar of what you think you can reach, because you just proved to yourself you could do something pretty damn cool, at least based on like your own standards, right? And if you fall short, hopefully at least it ends up being an eye-opening event of you can say, all right, I'm going to make this happen this time. I'm going to learn from my mistakes.
Today I was running, and this guy passes me in the car. It's about 100 degrees out here. He pulls his car by me and says, why the f are you out here? I said, because you're not. Sometimes your motivation needs to be because no one else wants to fucking do it.
Look at yourself. Look at yourself and remind yourself why you are doing what you are doing. This is what will make you stronger.
I had a purpose. I wanted to be one of the best basketball players to ever play. Anything else that was outside of that lane, I didn't have time for. And I had a kill list. I made that deal with myself at 13 years old. You know, they used to do these rankings. It was Street and Smith basketball rankings. And I was nowhere to be found because I was like 6'4", scrawny, like 160 pounds soaking wet. So I was like 57 on the list. And so I will look at 56, 55, all the way up to number 1, who these players are. I got to hunt them down, right? And so that became my mission in high school, is to check off every other person, all those 56 other names, hunt them down and knock them down.
You know, I think most people think, Jay, everyone else is going to die. I think they just, I'm not going to die. Or they go, I'll get around to being happy. I'll get around to making my masterpiece of my life. I'll get around to my dreams. And then it's another day and another day. And they keep it in the distance until there are no more days. And I don't care if you're 18 years old listening to this, 28 or 48. We don't know if we have one more day or 100 more days or 1,000 more days. But we know this, there'll eventually be a time where we don't have any more days. And so why would we spend the ones that are coming looking at the past?